We all have a tendency to hold on to the past, clinging to memories, regrets, and outdated belief systems that no longer serve us. It's easy to get trapped in the comfort of familiarity, but if we truly desire a different life, a life filled with greatness, a life that leaves a lasting legacy, we must actively look towards changing our mindset. Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica, your transformational sociologist. Put simply, I work with people such as yourselves to awaken your greatness. And I work with organizations such as councils, governments, and private organizations to create places that enable people to thrive. We all know that thriving people make for thriving and successful places. Now, in today's video, we are going to look at why we need to let go of the past, and not just that, but how we can do that. We will also look at why limiting beliefs are holding us back and how we can truly awaken our greatness by letting go of limiting beliefs. The power of neural plasticity. Neural plasticity, also known as brain plasticity, basically what that really means is that the plasticity really means the quality of being easily shaped or molded. So when we look at brain plasticity, we refer to the brain's ability to adapt and reorganize itself throughout our lives. The fascinating concept shows us that brains are not fixed entities, but rather something that we can change. A brain is malleable, it's capable of creating new connections and pathways. That's good news for you. So if you are worried about a past that you cannot change and stuck and tangled up in the past, you can retrain your brain and mold it to whatever you want it to be. Understanding this fundamental aspect of brain function provides hope and encouragement for those seeking to transform their belief systems and leave the past behind. You see, unhealthy circumstances lead to unhealthy emotional conditioning, which brings me to point number 2. We need to figure out how we let go of the unhealthy circumstances from the past that has created in us a habit and a belief system that we now need to retrain and change. Our past experiences significantly influence our belief systems and our emotional responses. If we have consistently found ourselves in unhealthy circumstances, our brains become conditioned to expect and react to negativity. This conditioning can be a significant obstacle when attempting to break free from the past and embracing a different life. However, the power of neural plasticity continues to allow us to consciously rewire our brain and override these ingrained responses. Let me give you an example from my life. All my life, I was told, you don't look good, you don't sound good, you're a girl, this is all you can do. And although outwardly I was actively fighting these prejudices, the more people say that and the more I was in that environment, I started believing in it. I started believing that there are only certain things I could do and other things I couldn't do. I started believing that the only way forward was either fight or flight. And all of which led me to a very dissatisfied, unhappy life that was always looking back at past regrets. But then I transformed my life. Each of us have different reasons why we transform our lives. For me, it was my children. I wanted my children to look at life with positivity, look at life really and embrace the fullness of life. Whatever it is for you, embrace it. Use those things that want you to embrace greatness. And that, my friends, is the first step towards embracing greatness. In me embracing my greatness and learning to do that, these are some of the lessons I learned, and I hope it can be useful for you too. Some methods to retrain your brain. Firstly, let's look at mindfulness and meditation. Now, just the other day, someone was telling me, isn't this all just too new agey and fake? What on earth does mindfulness and meditation actually mean? You see, there's a lot of research. If you're a researcher, look at research articles. But if you just want to Google it, you'd still find lots of work that have proven that says that mindfulness and meditation have proven to have a positive impact on our brain function. You see, by practicing mindfulness, we can develop an awareness of our thoughts and emotions, enabling us to consciously choose new, empowering beliefs and release the hold of past conditioning. So let me again give you an example from my life. So for example, I start thinking I don't look good enough, I don't speak well enough. I actually physically pause and close my eyes if I need to, take deep breaths and change that thinking to say, this is who I am. I live a healthy lifestyle. This is how I was born. I've lived in different places, so this is my accent. So I need to embrace the fullness of who I am. And the fullness of who I am is enough to change people's lives for the better. I keep practicing those mindfulness exercises. And then I have slowly seen how there's been a shift in my attitude and thinking. The other way, mindfulness and meditation also doesn't also need to be practicing calm yoga. Sometimes I just jump up and down to change my thinking and meditate that way. Other times I go for a walk. But whatever, mindfulness and meditation doesn't have to be just one thing. It means it's clearing your thinking and realigning your thoughts. Look, we can't put a hole in our heads and massage our brains. So we need to do things like exercise or meditation or breathing exercises, whatever works for us, to change our negative thinking into positive and realistic thinking, because that is essential to awakening your greatness. Second point is cognitive behavioral therapy. Look, I've done certifications in psychology, and I'm continuing to do more courses on psychology, but just I am not a psychologist, but I understand the concepts that psychologists use. And I use this to enable my clients and people I talk to embrace greatness. Again, you can look at Google or research articles on what CBT actually means, but put simply, all it means is you actively replace negative thoughts with more positive and realistic ones. It could be through talk therapy with your mentor or your friend, or it could be talk therapy with yourself. As long as you're reprogramming your brain to adopt healthier belief systems and responses. I was talking to a mum the other day, and she was saying, oh, I'm just a mum. And I said to her, look, there's nothing called just a mum. Why do you think that way? Why do you feel you're not good enough? And when she gave her answers, we worked out a way on how she could change. Her same circumstance could be looked at with different lenses. So she now looks at it with a totally different lens. She is growing to humans that are going to make such a positive impact in the world. And by embracing that, she now wants to be the greatest role model for them they ever can be. So CBT is a very useful technique that you can use, whether with your mentor or by yourself, to change your mindset, change your thinking, change your life. Point number 3 is visualizations and affirmations. Again, this is another point that people go, is this just a rah-rah point? I assure you it is not. I've got a doctorate in philosophy and marketing looking at sociological aspects on how places can change. So sociologists look at a group of people, how people can change, you know. I did a research on a town, and in this town, when a lot of people were consistently being told by the media and others, you're not smart enough, you're just a blue collar town, you're just this, you're just that, the people interviewed felt that they were just that and that's all they could ever be. So whether it's through groups or individuals, you need to start, you can become what other people say you are. So to change that, now with this town, with people, some of the people in this town, I get them to visualize a different future for not just themselves, but for their town, you know, so they're not cheap, they're class. And we look at all the positive aspects that this town provides the people and all the things that they can be proud of. So these are not just vague pie in the sky things that don't exist. These are real things around us that they have now embraced and visualized a different future for themselves. Likewise, as human beings, it'll take my life. If I just kept saying, oh, I'm just this, I'm just, average looking girl that's lived around the world with a funny accent, I can't be this, I can't be that, I would never have been anything that I wanted to be. But I visualized a different future for myself and I affirmed it with my words and with my actions. Now, to give you a simple example, after the birth of my children, I had put on quite a lot of weight. Now, that wasn't the image I visualized for myself, not just for cosmetic reasons, but also for fitness reasons. But I was quite sick after my cesarean, and there was limited movements I could do. There was a lot of stuff I couldn't do. But when at those times when I was stuck in bed and I couldn't do anything else, I visualized an image of the newer, stronger, wiser, calmer Jessica Gray and how she would look. And I affirmed that with my words. And then that then opened up neural platforms for me to then take concrete actions. It's given me a routine on when I work out, how I work out, how I think, how I perceive myself to be. It's absolutely transformed my life, friends. And I assure you, it will transform yours as well. Visualizing and affirmations are real practical steps that you can use to awaken your greatness and let go of the past. Learning and education is my point number 4. Learning and education must be a lifelong thing. Engaging in continuous learning and expanding your education and knowledge can help us challenge old beliefs and develop new perspectives. By exposing ourselves to new ideas, we open the doors to personal growth and transformation. Look, I'm a believer that there's always middle ground to be found. I grew up in Southeast Asia, where I was blessed, South Asia really, in India, where I was blessed to have people with different religions around me, you know, and it was fantastic. This was many, many decades ago when I was growing up. It was fantastic. Everybody celebrated everyone else. But now I look at my adult friends clinging on to whatever the belief, a certain belief system, and I see them fighting on Facebook. You're wrong, I'm right. I'm right, you're wrong. And I'm thinking, is it because these smart humans that I grew up with have stopped learning? Can they not find middle ground? You know, so if you're older, just and somebody's expressing an opposite point of view, I'm not saying you got to just blindly believe everything, but you need to say, this person is saying such and such thing. What can I do to find middle ground? And could they possibly have some truth in what they're saying? And how could I work with this person to find that middle ground? I have some friends that think, for example, yoga is wrong. Don't ask me why, because I don't think it's wrong. Any kinds of fitness is good, but they are quite stuck in their reasons why they think it's wrong. And I respect their reasons. But to impose it on somebody else because some aspects of yoga, for as an example, is deemed unfit for them, they then try to impose their mindset on others. And I feel that having that stuck in the mud mindset, especially as we grow older, is not really healthy. I'm using yoga and religion as examples, but in everything, we have people stuck in their perspectives without being able to find middle ground. And that is one of the reasons why we've got a cancel culture in this world today. Everybody thinks the person that doesn't think like them is wrong. And they throw stones at each other, whichever, I'm not politically minded, but whichever side of the spectrum they are, they throw stones at the opposite spectrum. So if you're listening, just remember to open your mind to education. I don't just mean university education, to different belief systems, to different attitudes, to different cultures, to different financial perspectives. Whatever the case may be that you're struggling with, try to find middle ground and learn something new each day. Why must you do it? We looked at mindfulness and meditation. We looked at CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. We looked at visualization and affirmations and learning and education. Why should you do it? Why should you even bother? You see, changing your belief system and leaving the past behind may seem daunting, but the rewards are immeasurable. By actively practicing change, we can awaken our greatness and tap into our full potential. We have the power to shape our reality, create meaningful relationships, and pursue our passions and live a life aligned with our true purpose. Look, wherever you are, if you think you're perfectly happy with where you're at, that's fine. Perhaps these talks can help you improve on that perfection. But you see, if there's any doubt in your mind that you've achieved your fullest potential, let me tell you, we cannot achieve perfection this side of paradise. If you're fantastic in what you're at, try to become more fantastic than you are. We can continue to awaken our greatness. This video channel just gives you some tips on how you can do that. And today's one is to learn to let go of the past. I'm not perfect. There are days when I look behind and think, why did I do certain things? Why did I believe in certain things? Why was I so stuck in the mud? Whatever it might be, you can't change the past. You can only move forward toward a greater future by embracing greatness, embracing mindfulness, and living to your full potential. Letting go of the past and embracing a new way of thinking is the first step, my friends, towards unlocking your greatness. If you've liked this video, I'd like you to subscribe to my new YouTube channel that will awaken your greatness and the greatness of your loved ones. So don't forget to subscribe, and more importantly, share it to the world that there's this channel out here that talks about how to make you great. And post in comments or email me on contact@drjg, Dr. Jessica Gray, drjg.co.nz, on the areas in which you need to awaken your greatness, and I will do a video about it. My friends, living in the past will not change your lives. Instead, it holds you back from realizing your ultimate potential. Yes, I look at you. You're saying you're 80 years old. You too have a life left. You too have a full life left. And you can keep awakening your greatness, no matter how old you are or how young you are. By understanding the power of neural plasticity and actively rewiring our belief system, we can break free from past conditioning and create a life that aligns with our deepest desires. We all have deep desires, right? Why don't you post in comments some of the desires you've got? And tell me if you've actually fulfilled your desires. And if not, why not? I'm here to tell you it takes time, dedication, and consistent practice, but the rewards are worth it. Awaken your greatness, my friends, by embracing change, letting go of the past, finding balance, and consciously shaping the life you want to live. Remember, you have the power to transform your reality and create a future filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. It's taken me over 40 years to realize what my purpose is. My purpose in life is to awaken your greatness. I don't know what your purpose is, but my friends, go do it, do it, do it, do it. You deserve a great life. You deserve to awaken your greatness. And you can only do that by first letting go of the past. Until next time, this is Dr. Jessica signing off and encouraging you to sparkle wherever you are.